Whenever you're ready.
Only one.
Okay, folks, this is time for bacteria cells and specialty cells.
Woo woo! Just rolled right in there.
You did. That was very smooth. Okay, so look at these 3 pictures. Where are these cells from? What do you think? You got picture A, bada bing. Picture B, bada boom. And picture C, bada ding. Right out of things. Alright, and why am I waiting for you to answer me? It's kind of dumb. Well, in reality, those are all from the same organism. Even though they look very different, those can very easily come from the same organism. Those are called specialty cells, and these are cells that are in plants and animals. They have a specific job or a specific function.
So a lot of these specialty cells are actually the reason why you can do some of the things that you can do. So if you think about it, think about the different things that your body is made up of. So think if you just take your leg. What are some things you could find in your leg? Bone. Muscle. Stop laughing.
My brother stabbed me when I was a kid with a pencil, so I'm thinking the pencil lead's in my leg still. I still have a mark.
She's got lead poisoning. That's why she's strange.
It's a true story, though. I still have a mark.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
A little something extra for you folks. So think about all these things that are in all these different things that are in your leg. So you have your bone, you have your muscle, you have tissue. You
got some fat.
Yep.
You got blood.
Yep.
But the bone and the muscle and the fat and the blood have different jobs. So make a list in your notebook of all the cells that you could think of, all the different types of cells you might have in your body. So you can do pause the video and put that in there. And then now add, why do we need different types of cells? Write that in a sentence. Why would we need blood cells versus bone cells versus nerve cells? So here's a graphic of a bunch of cells that could or could not be in your body, depends on what gender you are. You got over here, you got your nerve cell. Look at those branches. Why do you think you have so many branches coming off of there?
Well, think about what the job of a nerve cell is, and it's basically to tell your brain kind of what you're feeling. So if you put your hand on something that's hot, your hand gets hot, it signals your nerve cells relay the message to your brain says, hey, dummy, get your hand off that because it's really hot. So it's got to have all those kind of little arms or tentacles to kind of get the message out as quickly as possible.
Your whole body. Yep. The whole body gets the feelings. Okay, so then over in the middle on the top here, you got some muscle cells. And you got different types of muscle cells depending on the specific muscle.
And then you have your bone cell, okay? So your bone cell's not only obviously in your bone, but I believe your nails are also made of the bone cell.
And look how it's very rigid and it's very structured because your bones need to be totally strong. And then you got your glands down here.
And then you have your blood cells. You have 2 different types of blood cells, red blood cells and white blood cells. And your white blood cells, if you're familiar with anyone that has ever had cancer or leukemia, when they go through chemo or radiation, that kills their white blood cells because they're trying to kill the cancer cells as well, so it kills the good and the bad. So that's why they have to kind of be quarantined for a while to not get sick, because your white blood cells are what help you fight off infection. And
what do those red blood cells do? Do you remember? They carry something important.
Oxygen.
Yeah, and that's why it looks like a bowl ready to hold something. So that's like a blood cell ready to go, needing to be transport oxygen around. And then finally, depending on what you are, a boy or a girl, you're going to have sperm cells or an egg or ovum. So you can see sperm has a totally different look. It's way smaller, and it has a little way to transport itself around, a little flagella. And then your egg is just a big Humpty Dumpty little thing ready to be attacked.
Yep.
Okay, look at these guys.
So these cells here, try to think about what these cells would be, okay? They look a little bit different than the ones we just showed you. So why would they look different? Where could they be found? What are their jobs?
Look at the names too.
Yeah, kind of sounds like pasta.
Can't say that word.
Spirilla. Bacilla. Or bacilli.
Bacilli?
And then Koki?
I don't know. I don't pronounce words correctly. But yeah, I've seen this ending before. and this word looks like something else. These are all types of bacterial cells.
So here's the deal. Bacterial cells are going to be smaller than the cells that you have in your body. Okay? And they're going to be very simple compared to the cells you have. Your cells have a lot of organelles, which you've already learned, but bacterial cells only have cell wall, cell membrane, and then ribosomes. There's no nucleus in cells, which is kind of interesting because we know that our nucleus is the control center. So to think that there's cells that can actually function without a control center, they don't need a brain.
But if you think of the difference between us and bacteria, like we are multicellular. We have billions of cells in our body, and we have all these functions that we do. But the bacteria has one function, is to kind of like invade and kill and reproduce. It just wants to make more bacteria.
Yep.
You'll see that inside the bacteria here, there's all it's like DNA and chromosomal material just floating loosey-goosey. And some bacteria have a little way to transport itself. It just depends on the bacteria itself.
And bacteria, keep in mind, can cause you to get sick. That's how a lot of people do get sick. It's because there's harmful bacteria around
sucking
that
up your nutrients.
Yep.
Okay, I want to take you to this website. We'll see if this works. We've never done this before. It's going to show you, it's going to be a great size comparison for you. Okay. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Okay, so you're looking at something big. This is like normal type. This is a coffee bean, a grain of rice. And then I can zoom in more and more to a sesame seed. Let's get a little further. There's a grain of salt. Now we're getting to an amoeba, a single-cell organism. Paramecium. Now you get the egg, human egg versus human sperm versus a skin cell. Pretty amazing. This is the rod in your eye, the photoreceptor, receives light. Okay. Now here's another different type of cell. We already saw the gigantic egg, and this is a red blood cell. And then there's your X chromosome that we all have. Some of us have 2 if we're cool. And then we got some organelles here. Mitochondria. Look, it's about the same size. E. coli. It's about the same size as the mitochondria. It shows you how small bacteria typically are.
And remember, in our cells, there are typically more than one mitochondria, right?
Right.
So to think that one piece of bacteria is the same size as one organelle for
Growing
us.
smaller. Viruses are typically way smaller than bacteria. So we got the measles, we got the flu, we got HIV, which is a virus, hepatitis, rhinovirus, and then we got to the ribosome, which is that little bitty dots. And then now we go into some things you might not know, like hemoglobin. You might have heard of that. RNA, which helps make DNA. Antibodies, you might have heard of that. Going smaller and smaller. There's the water molecule. Then carbon atom, a single atom, which you have billions of those in your body. So it's amazing to see how different sizes cells can be. So just a human cell can vary in size. And then the bacteria, they're way smaller than the human cell. Okay, kiddos. So hopefully that helped you understand cells. And if you have any questions, come find us.
See ya.